The enigma of the crucifixion and resurrection is deeply intertwined, such that a complete understanding can only be achieved by examining these events in tandem. The former is a critical precursor to the latter. This profound mystery is revealed to us through the observances of Holy Week and Easter. Have you considered why the commemoration of this central event in the ecclesiastical calendar does not occur on a consistent date, unlike other significant milestones marking births or passings, but rather fluctuates annually between March 22 and April 25? The scheduling of Easter Sunday is distinct. It falls on the first Sunday after the full moon that appears post the vernal equinox, within the period of Aries, which stretches from March 21 to April 19. The onset of spring in the northern hemisphere coincides with the sun's entry into Aries. In this interval, the moon achieves its full phase somewhere between March 21 and April 25, positioned directly opposite the sun, a phenomenon known as a full moon. Easter is thus celebrated on the Sunday subsequent to this full moon, with Good Friday marked on the Friday before. This timing prompts a re-evaluation. These dates are not intended to memorialize the anniversary of the death and resurrection of a terrestrial figure. From our vantage point on Earth, the sun seems to climb northward, traversing the imaginary equatorial line during the spring equinox. Scriptures indicate that the Savior must be crucified or crossed for humanity to attain life. It is further observed that following this astronomical event, nature experiences a rejuvenation or resurrection, emerging from the quiescence of winter. Hence, it is deduced that this seasonal transformation is a direct consequence of the sun's crucifixion or crossing. This explains why the sun is described as shedding its blood during the Passover. If these dates were marking the death and resurrection of a historical figure, they would be static, recurring annually on the same days, as is customary for commemorating most historical events. However, this is evidently not the practice. The dates do not aim to memorialize the anniversaries of Jesus Christ's death and resurrection in a literal manner. The scriptures are to be understood as psychological metaphors, unveiling their profound significance when interpreted through a psychological framework. These dates were synchronized with the cosmic transition occurring at this time of year, symbolizing the demise of the old and the rebirth of the new, or spring. These dates represent not the death and resurrection of a man, but of our consciousness of being. It is proclaimed, "He relinquished his life so we might possess life, and possess it more abundantly." John 10 verse 10. In a similar vein, consciousness perishes when it dissociates from its present state, facilitating the rise of a preferred state of being. This encapsulates a truth both universal and personal. Spring is the period when numerous seeds, concealed throughout winter, suddenly germinate, becoming visible to us. The mystical drama of crucifixion and resurrection is inherent to the essence of this seasonal transition, celebrated in spring, yet it is, in truth, a phenomenon that unfolds continuously, moment by moment, within each of us. What is truly crucified is our consciousness of being, our self-perception, our comprehension of ourselves, acts as the crucifix. The resurrection is the elevation of this self-perception until it materializes. We undergo resurrection each time we imagine or position ourselves in improved circumstances. Contrary to a day of mourning, Good Friday ought to be observed with joy, for there can be no manifestation or resurrection without a prior crucifixion or impression. What emerges anew in your experience is what you aspire to become. For this metamorphosis to transpire, one must fully immerse in the sensation of already embodying what one desires to be. It must be internalized as, "I am the resurrection, I am the life." When two concur on a matter, it shall be established. These two, in agreement, are the desire and you, your self-awareness. Upon achieving this harmony, the crucifixion is actualized. Two entities are crucified or intersected, the I am and the desire, the consciousness and the aim of consciousness, merging into one. The I am, or Jesus, is affixed to the crucifix of your desires. The linkage uniting these two is the sentiment. This mystical convergence results in the birth of a new reality that testifies to its origin. Consciousness becomes indistinguishable from its objective, and the manifested world is the progeny that authenticates this union. This perspective deepens our psychological and spiritual comprehension of crucifixion and resurrection, broadening its symbolism to encompass our daily, personal existence. The crucifixion symbolizes not just the surrender of a former I am, but also represents an act of faith in the transformative journey it initiates. Conversely, the resurrection is the tangible realization of this new state of being, a confirmation of the life force that endures following apparent demise. Therefore, as we face challenges or transitions, we stand at the threshold of a personal crucifixion. These instances invite us to relinquish outdated convictions, habits, or identities that no longer benefit us, making way for rebirth into a refreshed consciousness. This process symbolizes the metaphorical death of the old to welcome the new, emphasizing the role of faith and imagination in sculpting our reality. The cyclical nature of these phenomena is reflected not only in the narrative of the seasons but also in the very essence of human life. This narrative reminds us that every conclusion in our lives is not just an end but a precursor to a new beginning, a new mode of existence. The notion of crucifixion, in this context, surpasses its historical and literal interpretations, evolving into a symbol of the essential relinquishment of outdated patterns, beliefs, and identities that hinder our growth. This act of surrender, or crucifixion, is not mere resignation but a deliberate choice to forsake what we are for what we might become. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, underscoring our ability to withstand loss and re-emerge rejuvenated. This process, albeit painful and challenging, as it entails confronting and letting go of aspects of ourselves we've long identified with, is through this crucifixion of the ego and its attachments that we unlock new possibilities and forms of existence. The process of resurrection, emerging from the crucifixion phase, symbolizes the birth of a heightened consciousness, a transition into a more advanced state of awareness and existence. It epitomizes the spirit's triumph over the constraints of the previous self, a victory that materializes as a new reality, sculpted by our refreshed vision and goals. This resurrection is not merely an isolated incident but a perpetual journey of self-exploration and creation. It invites us to inhabit a state of elevated consciousness and purpose, manifesting the qualities and ideals that align with our authentic essence. Additionally, the variable date of Easter, synchronized with the natural cycle of demise and renewal in spring, acts as a poignant reminder of the universality and inevitability of transformation. It prompts us to perceive change not as a foe but as an essential and natural aspect of the rhythm of life. Welcoming change enables us to harmonize with the cycles of nature and our own being, easing the transition from the old to the new. In this voyage of crucifixion and resurrection, faith and imagination are crucial. Faith in the transformation process, in the unseen forces steering us towards our greatest good, and in our capacity to emerge renewed, is vital. Imagination, the ability that empowers us to conceive new possibilities and look beyond our present conditions, is the instrument through which we forge our future reality. Faith and imagination serve as the co-creators of our resurrection, allowing us to build a life that mirrors our deepest yearnings and ambitions. This tale of death and rebirth transcends the spiritual domain and resonates within every aspect of human experience. Whether we are confronting personal obstacles, aiming for professional accomplishments, or seeking deeper insight and connection, the concepts of crucifixion and resurrection provide valuable lessons. They illuminate the necessity of release, the strength of rejuvenation, and the boundless capacity of the human spirit to exceed and evolve. At its core, the narrative of crucifixion and resurrection beckons us to awaken to our intrinsic ability to innovate, to reshape our lives and the world around us. It extends an invitation to embrace the entirety of our existence, to live with authenticity and bravery, and to view the cycles of death and rebirth as gateways to growth and rejuvenation. By embracing these enduring principles, we can traverse life's complexities with elegance and fortitude, motivated by the perpetual prospect of resurrection and the infinite possibilities for regeneration and renewal within us all. Easter, with its shifting date, signifies that renewal is not restricted to a specific period but is a constant cycle of demise and rebirth we undergo. Just as nature revives each spring, we too have the capacity to rejuvenate our aspirations, dreams, and selves, elevating them to a superior state. This universal principle is applicable across all life areas, from spiritual revival to personal advancement. Moreover, this cycle of crucifixion and resurrection is evident in our ability to surmount the confines of our current situations or perceptions. By aligning with the I Am, we acknowledge our role as architects of our reality, capable of transcending any circumstance through faith and the potency of imagination and emotion. This transcends mere personal transformation to encompass creation, where what is intensely envisioned and emotionally embraced becomes an integral part of our reality. Viewed under this light, the story of crucifixion and resurrection emerges as a powerful allegory for the human capacity for renewal and transformation. It teaches us that, notwithstanding the adversities and symbolic deaths we encounter, there always lies the opportunity to ascend anew, endowed with greater resilience, wisdom, and empathy. This perpetual cycle of death and rebirth is fundamental to personal growth, reminding us that within every conclusion lies the seed of a new beginning, waiting to be unearthed.